This reading comes courtesy of Respect Your Legacy Books. This extract is taken from 500 Years of European Behaviour by Nana Ekow Butweiku. Lynching was introduced to me at a very early stage in my life. I was a small boy when I first heard about lynching, but I can still remember my father talking about a lynching that took place near my home, Aiken, South Carolina. The lynching took place in 1926 when a mob stormed the Aiken County Jail and seized 3 blacks, a brother and sister, along with their cousin. As I recall, they were tarred and feathered and then burned alive. The victims were Demon and Bertha Lohman and their cousin Clarence, who were on trial for the murder of Sheriff H. Howard. Demon had already been cleared of the murder charge when the mob struck. Judge S.D. Lanham had issued a verdict of not guilty, and the acquittal of the other 2 was soon expected. The real murderer of Sheriff Howard was one of his own deputies who wanted the sheriff's job. This was the segregation era in the 500 Years of European Behaviour, an era where some of the worst atrocities were committed against African people in American history. Now you can see another reason why they do not want the true history included in the curriculum. All of these atrocities did not occur in the Deep South as they would have you believe. Some occurred in the North and the Midwest. What white history teacher is going to stand in front of a class of African American students and tell them about 500 years of atrocities committed by Europeans? There is no way we can list all of the lynchings of black men and women here, and I am sure that many, perhaps hundreds, if not thousands, have gone unreported. We shall attempt to cite just a few and give you some inclination of what life was like for Africans living in America. I can remember my father telling a story about an incident that happened to him as he gathered the children around him to warn us about what to expect as we grew up as black men in America. He advised us to stay off of Main Street America for you could get lynched, particularly if you accidentally bumped into a white woman, or if the white woman accused you of bumping into her or staring at her. My father was born in 1877 approximately, just 12 years after slavery ended. The incident in which he was involved occurred when he was a young man of about 20 or 21 years of age, about 1897 or 1898. He said he was working for this white man for 25 cents per day from cant to cant when he noticed a group of white men looking and observing him. My father had a scar on the right side of his face. These white men were observing that scar and asking the white man he was working for, "Are you sure he was here last night?" It appears that some white woman had accused some black man with a scar on his face of attacking her on the night before, and the word was out that some nigger must die before sundown. The only thing that saved my father from lynching was that the white man was able to verify that he was there working from cant to cant, feeding and watering the animals, cutting and bringing in the firewood for cooking and keeping the white man warm. However, some poor African was not as lucky as my father. For this poor fellow was caught and dragged to a tree where he was made to stand on the wheel of a wagon with a rope around his neck, with enough slack in the rope so that when the horse was given a whack, he would move swiftly, causing your body to drop, leaving you hanging by the neck. These white men then formed a C around the hanging victim, took aim with their shotguns and rifles, and when someone yelled, "Fire!" they then emptied their guns into the body. My father said that all day long, white men came by horseback from 35 or 40 miles around and said, "Y'all done shot him? Well, we're gonna go down there and shoot him anyway." After they had finished, they then told the surrounding black community, "Y'all can go down there and get him." My father said that when they went down there to get the body, that there were so many holes in the body that they could not lift the body up. They finally had to put a sheet under the body to lift him up. This is my remembrance of the fear that black men had to live with growing up in America. I am sure that Justice Clarence Thomas's grandfather must have related stories to him, which is why I cannot understand how he can today take such preposterous stances which are in direct opposition and completely contrary to the African experience in America.